Fishing at Greenbelt Lake is fun and adventurous and great for visitors. But one of the key aspects is making sure that you have a fishing permit if you're 16 years or older.
So if you're going to enjoy fishing here at Greenbelt Lake or anywhere else in Maryland, you're going to have a fishing license. And they're super cheap. You can go on the DNR website and you can order it offline. It's only $20.50 for 365 days worth of your license for fishing. So that's an entire year worth of fishing for only $20.50. If you're caught without a license, it can be $75 to $1,000 fine for your first infraction, and then $2,000 in a year in prison for your second infraction. And then be familiar with the rules with wherever you're going to be fishing, because the rules are different depending on where you're at, what season it is. If you're going to catch to keep, there's certain regulations on the size of fish, if you're fishing tidal or non-tidal. So be familiar with the regulations, because your license can be suspended if you're caught breaking the rules in whatever body of water that you're fishing at. All right, yeah, he took real well. So what you don't want to do is touch a fish with your dry hands, because they have a membrane they secrete that helps protect them from bacteria and all kinds of other stuff that are in the water. So before you get your fish off the hook, what you want to do is wet your hands, because if you have a fish with a larger mouth, like let's say a catfish or a bass or something like that, you can hold them by the mouth. You can hold them by the mouth with a dry hand. It's not that big of a deal, but since this is a small panfish, I'm going to have to grab the fish with my hand all the way around. And you don't want to keep the fish out of the water for more than about 30 seconds. So I'm going to get my hand wet, I'm going to get a firm grip, and now I'm going to take the hook out, nice and easy. Just like that, and you don't want to throw the fish back in the water, you want to let the fish swim away on its own. So you just place the fish down in the water, slowly release your grip. It's going to open and close its mouth and catch its breath. It swims away on its own, just like that. Now if you're using a towel, because you don't want to get your hands slimy from the fish membrane, make sure the towel is damp before you grab the fish. If you have a long fight with the fish, it might take them a little longer to recoup. Of course, these little fish here are pretty easy to reel in, so there's no long fight. So when you put them back in the water, what you want to do is let them catch their breath, and if they're not swimming off within a good 5 to 10 seconds on their own, move them back and forth to let the oxygenated water go over their gills, and then eventually they should swim off on their own. But what you won't want to do is just throw them back into the water, because that can make them go into shock if they are too denuded of oxygen, and then they'll just lay on their side and they'll gasp for air, but they're getting air and not water, and so then they can actually drown on the surface of the water and the fish can die.
Also make sure that you take your fishing line with you, because it's a hazard for other animals. It can entangle or entrap them and cause infection.
The different stamps and the different licenses all goes to wildlife conservation efforts in the state of Maryland. So think of that $20.50 as your get out of jail free card, and also your donation to wildlife conservation for the state of Maryland.
The most important aspect is to leave no trace in order for other visitors to enjoy the lake as well. Have a great day and a great visit at Greenbelt Lake.